It's another race weekend in Formula 1, and raise your hand if you are excited, because I know that I am. Why am I excited, you might ask? It's quite simple. There is a certain amount of uncertainty in Formula 1 at the moment, with the pecking order, after the Miami Grand Prix and Lando's first win. And I love uncertainty in Formula 1. Does Red Bull still have a massive advantage? Have McLaren caught up to Red Bull? Are Ferrari still on the same pace as McLaren and Red Bull? And will Leclerc and Sainz cause chaos for Ferrari in Italy? Upgrades are coming to Imola in the masses. Who's coming out on top? Who will Kevin Magnussen try to kill this weekend? Many questions are going to be answered this weekend, and a lot of drama is about to play out. But does the Imola Grand Prix actually deliver? I think it does. Let's talk about it. So the Imola Grand Prix is somewhat on the chopping board in Formula 1. Its current contract runs out in 2025, according to online sources, and with more races in the US and Middle East lately, and possibly a race in Africa coming, you need to start making room in the calendar, because 24 races is already pushing it to the limit. But is it fair to remove Imola from the European pool of tracks? I don't really think so. Imola came back to the F1 calendar after Formula 1 just wanted to put together a reasonable calendar so that a racing season could be done. And even though the 2023 Grand Prix was skipped because of the massive floods in the region, it produced 3 great races in the years before. Not great because of the amount of overtaking done, but more so for the drama that these races generated. 2020, 21 and 22 were great races. Just look at some of the stuff that happened. In 2020 you had a nice comeback for the race after 14 years off, being called the San Marino Grand Prix. You had a lot of drama. Verstappen fighting the Mercedes, getting a punctured DNF after splitting them, and DNFing in the gravel. Previously to that, you had a Bottas howler into the gravel at turn 17 and 18. You had Albon spinning out on his own. George Russell attacked the wall behind the safety car, ending his race when he was running in the points. You ended up with a Ricciardo podium and a Danik Fiat in P4. By today's standards, that is an amazing race. Then you had 2021, which was even better. Drama filled to the brim, a championship-defining race in many ways. You had Leclerc spinning out on the formation lap on the Inters. You had a turn 1 overtake by Verstappen that was a bit controversial, where he started in second gear from third place, pushed Lewis Hamilton to the edge of the track. You had a huge Avengers moment when Latifi and Mazepin crashed together. You had Schumacher hit the wall on his own behind the safety car, trying to heat up his tires. You saw Lewis head straight into the wall, but he managed to clutch it with his clutch to save his own race and championship chances. You had George Russell trying to get into the Mercedes seat by force, taking out Bottas in the process. You had a red flag after that. On the restart, Verstappen almost drops the race win behind the safety car. You had Hamilton's charge back through the field and a P2 finish. You had Tsunoda and Perez bottle jobs on the restarts, and you ended up with a Lando Norris podium. Again, this was in one race. By today's standards, you need probably 5 or 6 races combined to get this amount of drama. And then we had 2022, which was another wet race, a bit calmer but also huge championship swings. Ricciardo takes out Sainz on lap 1. Alonso gets a massive hole in his car because of the contact created by a lot of cars. You had some drama in the pit lane. You had Leclerc flying over the chicane and hitting the wall, bottling the podium and a lot of points, creating huge swings in the championship. You had Verstappen lapping Hamilton on pure pace, which was really a punch in the gut after an amazing 2021 for the fans. Lando Norris ends up with another Imola podium while his teammate finishes the last of the running cars. Overall, in only 3 races, Imola has generated more dramatic moments than a lot of snooze fest races combined. Monaco, Spain, Baku, the French Grand Prix before that. Note that the Spanish Grand Prix is a lot better now with the old layout back, but still pretty much a qualifying track with these current cars. But what makes Imola such a drama-filled race? 2 simple things: location and track layout. There is always a big chance for rain in the region of Emilia Romagna in northern Italy, where the Grand Prix is held. Heavy rainfall makes racing more difficult, we all know that. But with the quick showers, you never really know if it's full wets, if it's inters, is it back to slicks? Nobody really knows, and you get teams taking big chances with the pit stops in order to get a great result. The track layout is also very punishing on driver mistakes. There are a lot of braking zones that lead straight into gravel or floor-destroying curbs. But at the same time, you can overtake if you have a pace advantage and you take a bit of risk. You get a DRS straight into turn 2 where you can dive on the outside or inside depending on what type of breakfast you had that morning. You can out-traction people in turn 4 and get the overtake done that way. You have a big dive opportunity into the turn 7 hairpin and you can carry the momentum from that, and you get another chance at the chicane where Leclerc took Formula 1 physics to the limit and actually saw some airtime for his pilot's license. And then finally you have the Bottas bottle drop corners at turn 17 and 18 where you can send it down the inside and take the position. Overall, the track layouts promotes good racing with overtaking opportunities, and when you combine that with a damp track and a drying racing line, you get a lot of drama out of it. And now when you have some uncertainty again, with 3 teams looking to take the race win, the track can really produce some good moments. So let's say you actually do get a great race once again here in Imola. Does it deserve to stay for another 2 years? Does it generate better racing than Monaco or Baku? I think giving it another few years is the correct call to make if you're Formula 1. Just let the track cook and see what it brings you. It's not the best tracks out of the European pool of circuits, but sometimes even the good tracks generate some really boring races and results. Monza is known worldwide for being the temple of speed and a place where you can overtake, but last year it only had 31 overtakes. Monaco itself had 22. These current cars makes it difficult to race, and sometimes you need the help of the weather or track characteristics to create more difficulty for the drivers. More difficulty leads to more mistakes, and more mistakes leads to more overtakes, which leads to a more fun result. That's what makes Imola great in my opinion. Let me know what you think of the Imola Grand Prix. Does it deserve to stay, or is it time to let it go? Who is Kevin Magnussen going to take out in the race, and who do you think is going to win it? I predict Charles Leclerc for a Ferrari win in Italy. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. We recently hit 2,000 subs on the channel, which I'm really happy about. Can we hit 3,000 before Logan Sargent gets replaced by Kimi Antonelli? Thank you all for your support. See you next time. Goodbye.